Anthony, I have a probate listing and I want to do an open house. Is there anything special I should do to promote that open house?
So the big question is this: how are ordinary agents just like us supposed to stand out in the overly crowded real estate space while living a great lifestyle without having to go broke or radically change what we're already doing? Probate is the answer, and this series will show you how. I'm Anthony Nitz, and welcome to The Probate Agent.
Hey folks, great. Another great question from one of our agents. When it comes to promoting open houses in general, something I'm going to share with you here real quick is going to give you some great tips, I hope, that you think you will find useful. And what I use personally is what I personally do to promote my own open houses. But there's something to consider, a consideration that you need to remember. Okay, if you have a probate that is a full authority situation, right? So the personal representative, they have full authority to sign a listing agreement, to sign a purchase agreement, to sign any document, close that escrow, receive the money. Okay, if you have that, it might not be a good idea to promote it as a probate listing, and I'll tell you why. It fits in the category, same thing, of pre-foreclosure or fixer-upper, or something where opportunists could see it as a just as an opportunity. They see it as an opportunity, and as a result, it could end up being a detriment to your seller. Why? Because they're all coming in, they're looking low ball, low ball, low ball, but they see even a traditional buyer who might be looking in that neighborhood. They want that style of house. It's all the right, features. And just because they see the word probate in it, they look at it and go, ooh, deal. That's a deal. We're going to steal this house. Just because that's what people think. They think because it's a probate, people are desperate and are just going to give the house away. Well, you know that's not always the case, and so you might not get the quality of offers that you get. It's the same thing when if you promote a fixer-upper as a fixer-upper, unless the seller or the personal representative has told you very specifically, yes, promote it as a probate, yes, promote it as a fixer-upper, then I would be very thoughtful about that, because again, it could draw the wrong type of offers to your house. Now, if it is a limited authority, requires court confirmation and a few other processes, and certain documentation, then yes, absolutely, I think you're required to promote it as a probate listing, so that people understand what they're getting into. Here in California, we can do a thing called overbidding. We get an offer, but when we go into the court to confirm that offer, we have the people can show up and start bidding on that property above what the current offer is. If you're not the top offer, you lose. Okay, so be thoughtful about how you promote it. But in any case, when we're talking about open houses, I'm going to show you how I promote my open houses on Facebook, so that you can kind of get an idea. You go, you know what? Okay, this is really this is a better way to do it. But before that, actually, let's talk about open houses real quick in general. Open houses in general, we know over the years there has been study after study after study and report after report that show us that the sale of a home, of the actual sale that occurs resulting from an open house, is really, really small. I've seen it as low as 1% of all sales of a home are made as a result of that person showing up to that open house and going, oh yeah, this is the one I want. Okay, typically I see 3%. Sometimes I see a little bit higher, but never does it even get near the 7% mark. It's really, really small. And why is that? We have to understand why that is. Well, think about it. If you are an agent, you're doing an open house, what do? You put signs out for 1.5 miles all the way around the property, driving people to the property. Well, when they see your open house sign 1.5 miles away, and they start following your trail, what do they know about that house before they get there? Do they know how many beds or baths it has, what the square footage is? Does it have a garage or not have a garage? What the price is? Is it a condo? Is it a townhouse? Is it a single family residence? Does it have a pool or no pool? They don't know anything. They know nothing. Okay? So the odds of those 20 people who show up at your open house that day actually being the one who buys that house, and that house fitting the criteria and parameters of what they're looking for, so very, very slim. It's incredibly slim. How could they do it? They can't. Right? I mean, there's no way that they could possibly fit into that criteria. It's a luck of the draw. It really is. You might get that one person who qualifies, i.e. the 1% or the 5%, maybe. Okay? But when we use social media to promote open houses, it changes the game a little bit. And this is why I do it the way that I do it. I want people to come to my open house. Yes, I still put the signs out. Why? Because I want to get leads. Okay? And if you're just doing open houses, that's really what you're doing. You're just collecting leads. I hope you're good at collecting leads. Because if you're doing open houses and you're not collecting leads, then get good at it. That's all I can tell you. But what I also want is I want qualified buyers to show up at my open house. I really want the best buyers to show up to my open house and be there, to look at it, because that increases significantly the odds of that person buying our house. So we're going to jump over into Facebook here real quick. If you're listening to us on the podcast, you might want to go over to our YouTube channel, The Probate Agent. Just do a search for that and watch our video that we're doing right now on this, so that it'll help get you a little grasp on what we're talking about. So we're over in Facebook here. So one of the first things I did was in my website, I went and I created this listing in my website. Okay. And then I just put a post on my page. For me, just for now, demonstration purposes, I just put it on the Probate Agent page, but you're going to have your own business page. If you don't know how to do a business page, go do a search on Google. How do I do a Facebook business page? It's so simple. It's really just not even a separate profile. It is a business page. It has different functions to it, but you have to have a business page in order to run ads on Facebook. Okay. So now I put this in, and all I did was grab the link from my website and I put it into this post here. It's that simple. Okay. Now I want you to see something that happens when you click on my link. So if you click on my link, a new tab opens up, and it says it's gonna open it up with that particular listing in it. And you'll see, sorry, it's running slow. My computer is a little hot right now, so I think it's slowing down. Okay, so now you'll see, okay, here's the property. It has all the information, the description, details about the property, photos, all this good stuff. But oops, what just happened? Log in and get full access. And so what I have my website set up to do, and this is something you should really, really, really consider, is having a lead capture device put into your website, so that when, like, I want people to look at this property, yes, but when they click on the continue with Facebook, that is now capturing their information automatically and seamlessly into my CRM, so that I can do automatic follow-up with them, right? This is the name of the game, guys, getting leads. Yes, we're trying to sell that house, but we got to take advantage of every top opportunity we can to fill our pipeline with leads. So I'm not going to click on the continue with Facebook here, because then it'll mess up my my CRM in there. But I can go in here and I can look at the properties and stuff like that. Oops. Oh, it took me back to my home page. So I didn't even know it did that. That's pretty slick. Okay. So it's prompting people to go back and look at this. But anyways, point is it's asking them to become a lead. Not because they know they're going to become a lead, but that's just what's going to happen. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Facebook Ad Manager. If you don't have an ad account, just go into your Facebook account. Let's look over here real quick and move that up. Drop this little thing down here. It'll say manage ads. If you don't have an ad account, it's going to ask you to create an ad account. Okay. Simple process. Don't let it freak you out. Again, if you need to figure out how to create an ad account on Facebook, just do a search for it. It'll tell you. Okay. Okay. So now I have my ad account and that's open. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to create a campaign. Now, every ad marketing guru out there has their take on how you do Facebook ads. Okay. Keep in mind, most of those people are dealing with long-term campaigns, whether it's just weeks or months or something like that. And that is an important distinction because Facebook is really good, and Google as well, because I do this with Google as well. The process is almost the same. But they're good at looking at that algorithm to try and figure out, okay, who's really going to be looking at and interested in this ad so they can show it to the right audience. But for our purposes, especially for an open house, we are doing a short-term, super short-term blast campaign. Now, Facebook isn't really keen on that because they want to have time to figure out who's the best audience for this. Well, we don't have time for that. I can't run a month-long campaign to promote an open house. It wouldn't be financially beneficial, nor would it be even good for my client because they're going to wait a month for an open house. No. So just keep those things in mind as we do this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in, and again, every guru has their take on all this stuff. I just go in for reach, okay, as far as the awareness goes, because my goal is to get as many people, looking at this ad as possible that fit my parameters, okay? And so I go in and I do reach, and I'm just going to give it a campaign name. I'm going to call it test open house ad. Okay, I'm not doing a split test or budget optimization at this point. And it's going to ask me about my account. Yes, yes, all that good stuff. Okay. And continue. Okay, it's asking me, and now we're going to set up the ad set. The ad set's kind of where you set up who's going to see the ad and you know what price you're going to pay and all that stuff. So I'm going to go test open house ad set. Okay, it asks me what Facebook page I'm associated with. Now you just might have one Facebook page and that's what's going to show up. I've got 26 pages. So I think it's down here. I'm going to go down, find the probate agent, because that's what I'm doing. If I was doing it with my personal, because I have one, it's Anthony Nitz, Realtor, as a page. If I was doing that, I would select that one, whichever one it is, okay? And so now you're going to see who do we want to see this ad? Who do we want to see this ad? Well, if I go back and I look at this, oh, I can't look at the property again because it's going to ask me for my stuff. But if I go back and I look at the information, I know it's a $1.1 million house, okay? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually select some interests in here as far as targeting. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put in, oh wait, let's see if it's going to let me do this. Select your location type, addresses. Okay, so I'm sorry, you probably didn't see what I did. So when I come here, it's asking me where do I want to target. Okay, if you try to put an address in this field here, it won't let you do it. It's just looking for cities, zip codes, countries, that sort of thing, pretty broad. If you click in add locations in bulk, down below there it's going to ask you select your location type, select, and go down to addresses. Okay, for me the address is 224 East 16th. Oops. Costa Mesa, California. Okay. And now it's going to ask me what my default radius is going to be. Now, for me, I'm just going to do default to 3 miles. Depending on what your budget is, you can expand out as far as you want, right? And in some campaigns, not for open houses, but for some campaigns, if I have a specific property, I want to get the word out. It's a high-end property, you know, $2, $3, $4, $5 million. I'm going to really expand it. I'll do the entire country with a very specific target, but that's not for this particular purpose. Now we're doing open house ad. Okay, so I put the address in there, and I'm going to do a 3-mile radius. So I'm going to assume match locations, and hopefully it finds it. Yes, it found it. Okay, add one location. Okay, so now it took out the United States, you notice, because now it is just targeting the that particular address, which is really cool, because you'll see now it's 3 miles around that particular address. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to come here, and I'm going to kind of, you know, you got to kind of guess a little bit. Target for a $1.1 million house. 18-year-old? Probably not. You know, so I'm going to say at the very least, I'm going to go 26. That might even be on the young side. I don't care how old they are. If, you know, they might be older and looking to upgrade or downgrade, if you know what I mean. Languages, up to you. Detailed targeting. Okay, so now this is where you try to figure out who is going to see your ad. So let's say browse. I'm going to go into demographics. In my case, I'm going to go into financial, and I'm going to say income, and I'm going to say top 10 to 25 percent, as well as top 5%, top 10%. So in other words, what's going on here is I don't want the top 25 to 50%. I want the people who are above that 25% mark, right? So if you look at this now, then you're going to see that as it stands, I'll be reaching anywhere between 1.2 thousand and 3.4 thousand people. Okay, let's see if there's some other things that we can look at, and these are always fun to explore because so financial, income, life events, you know, anniversaries, away birthdays, friends of, that's a neat one to play with, but we're not going to look at that yet. Parents, maybe you've got people who are, you know, they've got a growing family. Well, send them an ad. You know, how about this? You've got an apartment complex or an area that's typically known for younger single family or single individuals, smaller types of units. Run ads to, you know, these folks. I'm sorry, what was it? You know, newly engaged, or, you know, whatever, parents with young children, you know, newborns, because you could do that. Let's see, all parents, new parents, 0 to 12 months, right? So you can do that, target ads to them, trying to get it. Relationship, maybe they've had a breakup recently. Ooh, no. Divorced. Hey, are you running ads? Divorce sales, that's a good one too. Separated. Okay. Work, industries, titles, you know, lots of different things that you can pick here as far as that goes, but go play with it and see. Are you targeting veterans? Hey, go for it. Other interests, you know, business and industry, entertainment, family and relationships. Let's look at that. Dating, family, fatherhood, marriage, all that good stuff, fitness, wellness, hobbies and activity, shopping. So lots of different things, guys. Behaviors also. There was one on here that was planning to move or thinking of moving. So I don't see it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put moving. And let's see, it'll give me suggestions here. And maybe it's here, maybe it's not. Because they change this all the time. Maybe it's here, maybe it's not. And if you haven't noticed, this ad platform is different now. They've changed it again. Okay. So, okay. Well, they might have removed that one from the list. But for my purposes, this is going to do pretty good. Because a couple of things. Anthony, well, wait a minute. It doesn't say that they're looking to buy a house. It doesn't say that they're looking to, move today or anything like that. No, but these people who are in the top 25% of the income when I'm selling a $1.1 million house, if they're not coming to the open house, they might be sharing it with other people, right? So now I just go, okay, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like that. And I'm just going to do automatic placements. Again, guys, we're trying to get blast in a short amount of time. And if we go, well, we only want it in the newsfeed. Well, I don't care. I don't care if they're in the middle of playing a video game and my ad pops up for a second. I want them to see it, so that when Saturday rolls around, they show up, okay? So we're going to go down here. We're going to say, okay, for reach, I'm not going to do bid control. I'm just going to do daily budget, $10. Oops, not $101, my gosh. Okay, now watch this reach over here might change. Okay, oh, it actually went up. It went up because I think it was assuming I was only doing $5. Okay, and then I'm going to run my ad set continuously. No, I'm going to set an end date. So I'm going to set the start date today. And they always put a default in there. So I'm going to set start date today. I'm going to put an end date of Saturday, okay, at we'll call it 3 p.m. If the open house is ending at 4, I'll just run it for 3 p.m. Now this is going to cost me no more than $28.19 if all I got was one buyer who walked in and went, I'll take it, right? Because they already know all the details about the house because they clicked on my link. They know the address, they know the beds, baths, they know the square footage, they know the school district, they know everything about the house. So now this is a highly qualified buyer that walks into my house. And maybe they buy it with me in California. We're able to double end. I'll do that every day of the week. But if they don't, or if they have their own agent, I'm happy with that too. Objective is to get the house sold, right? And close the deal. So down here, a frequency cap. So this is something, and this is handy if you're doing kind of just more of a, hey, just every once in a while I want people to see my ad, just to remember who I am, which is also a different type of campaign that I run, then putting a frequency cap. Once every 7 days I want them to see it. No. For me, I'm okay if they see it 90 times every 1 day. Maybe not 90. I'm going to probably do I don't want them to see it more than 20 times. If they see it more than 20 times, then, that's getting a little obnoxious. But I promise you this, Facebook is not going to run my ad to those people 90 times in 1 day. This is not going to happen, okay? But put this as a higher number, because if you put it low and they go, well, only 3 times. This is a great thing about Facebook advertising. You don't have to worry about being that obnoxious person, whatever. It's ads. Okay, when you drive down the freeway and you see the same attorney's billboard every 7 miles, do you call them up and go, hey, stop, show me your billboards? No, you just go, okay, oh, there he is again. Well, there he is again. Okay, and they just scroll right past it. It's no big deal, but you don't want to miss the opportunity with the buyer. So now you come over and you're going to get charged per impression. You're going to have your ad scheduling. Don't worry about that. Delivery type, hide advanced options, and then we're going to come down here and click on continue. Okay, now it knows who we're sending the ads to. It knows how much money we're willing to spend. Okay, and now we just have to do the ad. Now this is the thing, remember I showed you on my Facebook page, I have this post already in here. Okay, this post is already here. Well, in here I just go, I click here where it says use existing post. Otherwise you got to create a whole new post. And if you create a new post, you might forget to get it to link to your lead capture page, right? But I just go use existing post. It says great, select the post. Which post do you want to use? And there it is, 224 East 16th Street. Okay, so I click on that and I click on continue. Done. My ad is done. Okay, now I can get more elaborate on the ad. I definitely can with more text and the content, things like that. But for these purposes, this is perfect, because this is not a, if you look at this ad, it just says open house this Saturday, 1 to 4, done. This isn't me going on and on and on about you need to buy this and oh, look at all the great features, blah, blah, blah. No, click on the link. That's all I want you to do. Click on the link. I could even say, I could say that, but I don't need to. People know. Oh, okay, well, let's see what it is. Then I can look at the different layouts here. Okay, what's it going to say? Okay, it kind of looks the same and everything. What's it going to look like on Instagram and the news feed, or in the Instagram feed? Okay, great. Well, there it is. Okay. And it has a learn more, which is the link. Easy, simple. Okay. So now, so that's done. And do I worry about limiting it to different things? Do I worry about limiting it to, I don't want it to show up on instant articles, or I don't want it to show up on the audience network, which is like ads out there on other people's websites and at the bottom of little games and things like. No, I want everywhere possible. I want it to show up because again, this is a blast for 3 days, and then get going. Okay, and then get those people qualified buyers there. I use a Facebook pixel so that I can track the. I gotta check that out, but I gotta try so I can track the effectiveness of the ad, right? If you're spending money on ads, you're not tracking the effectiveness of them, then why? Why are you even running ads? You're just blindly running ads, crossing your fingers and hoping that you are being successful. If you don't know how to do that, just go, hey Google, how do I set up a Facebook pixel on my website? There you go. Okay.
On the website facebook.com, they say, 1. Go to the Pixels tab.
Hey Google, cancel. That was so funny. My Google Home answered my question about when I asked it about how to set up a Facebook pixel. So there you go. It's that simple, guys. You can learn it. There's a couple other things that you can do here, but I'm going to go ahead and click on, if I click on confirm now, because we're at the ad portion of it, it's going to go ahead and put it into review so that it looks at it and says, okay, this is a good ad. Great. Run the ad. Okay. And now your ad is running for those 3 days so that you're getting those qualified buyers clicking on the links. And if they truly are interested in a house like this, in that area, at that price range with those beds and baths, they are going to show up at your open house. They walk in, hey, we'll take it, and it's all a good day. And also, there's a potential that your client is going to see that. And even if they don't, when it's done, you get a report saying, hey, we had 6.1 thousand people, 6,100 people actually look at your ad. They looked at it. Now, you got to be careful with that too, because they go, well, yeah, 6,100 people look at our ad, but where's the offers? Well, you can just, you can say, hey, it's just like running it in a newspaper, if anybody ever does that anymore. A lot of people see it. Doesn't mean that it necessarily meets their criteria, but this is just a technique to get people to your open house and have success with it. So, guys, I hope that is helpful to you. I really do. So when you have a probate listing and you're trying to promote that probate listing in any way, this technique is open house style, but there's other ways you can do more of those long-term campaigns to make sure that the right people are seeing your listing all the time. Just, utilize the tools that are available to you. And like I said, you can do exactly the same thing with Google, where you're running an ad. It shows up in every little website that people are going to see your open house being promoted. And if you're doing retargeting, this is another great thing to implement, and perhaps we'll do a video on this in the future. If you implement retargeting, so now somebody clicks on your link to go and learn more about this property, they look at it, they go, oh, and then the dog starts barking because somebody's at the door. Oh, and then the kids need, lunch, and then something else, and then they get a phone call. Hey, honey, can you look up this email for me? They go back to the computer, they close your tab, and they go look up the email, and now they forgot about you. Well, guess what? With retargeting, now they're coming back. You're constantly reminding them, oh yeah, you looked at this, right? And get them to come back to your website. Powerful marketing technique there, guys. So anyways, again, hope this helped. And sorry, this is a really long one, but I think it's something you need to know and you need to implement right away. Talk to you soon.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe right here where you're listening to us right now, and any of your other social media platforms. And leave feedback for me. It's really important to me and it helps us out. Do you have a question that you want answered live on the show? Go to theprobateagent.com to submit your question, or even to get an opportunity to be interviewed. For my agent friends, you'll also find additional content and some freebies there that you can download right now. Until next time, let's put the pro back into probate.